Hey you guys, welcome back to my very first video of 2021. It sounds really weird to say that year. 2021, we have made it. I did take a 2-week pause on this 90-day to home ownership challenge because the holiday madness ensued and I really thought that I would be able to get the videos up, but I decided to take as much work off as possible before diving into the new year. But we are here, we are on week number 3 of a 12-week series, and this week we are focusing on mortgages and getting pre-approved. Let's dive in. The very first step that you need to take as a buyer when you are moving towards buying a home is getting pre-approved. You can reach out to your realtor to help find a lender that they recommend. I work with someone local who has just been a godsend and helps all of my transactions stay on track and close on time. As a military borrower, you can reach out to a lender from Veterans United. You can work with just the local bank that you bank with. There's a lot of different options, but just find a lender that's going to work best for you. Pre-approvals usually only last a few months. Let's just say 3 months on average, as long as your employment and your debt is staying the same. If you go and take out new debt by buying a new car, or you lose your job, or you change job fields, that's going to affect your pre-approval. So make sure that your life stays as same as possible. Don't go and make any drastic changes when you're trying to buy a home, because you could ultimately lose your chances of buying a home for the next 6 to 12 months. I have a list of questions that are really good questions to ask the lender that you choose to hire, or you can even ask lenders these questions as you're interviewing them before you hire them. Some of them won't change lender to lender, but we'll just dive into these, and then if you have any other questions, you know the drill. You can reach out to me and I will clarify it and simplify it, but general overview today. So I have a list of 5. The first one is, what type of loan do you recommend for me? There are a handful of different loan options. You can do an FHA loan if you're a first-time home buyer, a conventional loan, which is our easiest loan in my opinion, but it does require the most down payment. The VA loan is an option for our military buyers with 0% down. And then we have other ones like rural development, and then programs for first-time home buyers or just home buyer assistance. When you talk to your mortgage lender, they're going to figure out how much ready cash you have to be able to use towards a down payment and which option would suit your financial situation the best. The second question is, will my down payment vary based on which type of loan I use? And just kind of like I touched on in the last little question, yes, it will. So if you don't have a ton of cash, that will alter which type of loan will be best for you. Kind of answered that one in question number 1, but we'll just jump into question number 3, and that is, what is the current interest rate and the annual percentage rate? Now, right now we're sitting at about 2.5% for your interest rate, and this won't change a lot lender to lender. You might be able to drop a tiny bit and if like a few points lower here or there, but that shouldn't be your biggest reason for jumping around from lender to lender, because in our market right now, interest rates are great across the board. When I bought my home 2 years ago, we were at a 4.5%, and like I said, we're at 2.5% now. So you are sitting great. It's historically low interest rates, so I wouldn't get bothered if you find a lender who's at a 2.35 and one who's at 2.45. They're both great, and you're saving so much more money than you will if you wait a few years to buy a house. So jump on these interest rates now, in my opinion. The next question is, can you lock in your interest rate, and if so, for how long? Again, I believe that's really going to stay the same across the board, and it depends on your loan type. My interest rate is locked in over the lifetime of my mortgage, which is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, but you have the opportunity to do like a 15-year loan if your circumstances allow you to. Again, these are all lender questions, and I'm not a lender, so this is a very, very brief overview. But we'll just jump into the last question. And the next question is, what will my closing costs be, and will they be wrapped into the loan, or do I pay them with cash at closing? And this can be different situation to situation. Closing costs run about 3 to 6% of your purchase price. So not only do you have to come up with your down payment for the property, you also need to pay for your closing costs. And you can ask a seller to pay some or all of your closing costs, but if you can't get the seller to pay for them, then yes, that's going to be a cash expense out of pocket that you will pay at closing with your down payment. You can get that closing cost number from your lender based off of what your pre-approval amount is. Obviously, it'll change if you end up buying a house for less than you're pre-approved for, which you can absolutely do, but you need to talk to your lender about those things so that you know how much money you could potentially owe at the closing table, and make sure you have those funds available. I know that was probably super random. I tried to make this as informative as possible, but also I'm not the lender expert. So reach out to me if you're ready to get pre-approved. Like I said, they do last for about 3 months as long as your financial situation doesn't change. I wouldn't advise you to just go get pre-approved just to see what you can afford, because it will be a soft hit to your credit that first time, and then you do have a period of like a 30-day window to kind of shop around for lenders and see if you can get a better interest rate somewhere. Like I said, look for someone local, someone you maybe already bank with, or take advantage of the military options that are out there. I would love to help you find the best lender wherever you're located. I have resources to do that even if you're in another city. That is it for week number 3. I will be back here next week for week 4, and I will see you guys then.